dear friends, to our 7th episode of Crimson Academy
Junior! That's right, dear friends. We are on our 7th episode of Crimson Academy Junior. And as mentioned before in our last episode, we are in the City of the Covenant. We are in New York. So here we are, live from New York. It's Crimson Academy Junior! That's right. So before we get into our program for this week will be a shortened episode. We have a special guest. So as usual, dear friends, this is our Ella, and this is my youngest one, Emma. Our youngest member of Crimson Academy Junior, joining us for this shortened episode here in New York. So let's first start off with, today we'll have 2 prayers. So let's sit nicely, dear friends. Okay, fold your arms. Very nice, close our eyes. And we're first going to start off with, blessed is this spot, okay? Ella, do you know this one?
Yep.
Okay, so, are you ready, Emma? Okay, close your eyes.
My heel.
Oh, you're fixing your hair? Thank you. Okay, fix your arms.
Heel shovels.
Your hair is disheveled. Okay, sit nicely.
I'm gonna brush my hair.
Okay, later. We'll brush your hair later. So fix your arms. We're going to say our prayers. Okay. Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge and the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow where mention of God hath been made, and his praise Baha'u'llah.
The Bob.
This is Baha'u'llah.
What no Bob?
This prayer was revealed by Baha'u'llah. Okay, so very nice, thank you. So the next prayer is say God sufficeth.
Yeah.
Okay, that prayer was revealed by the Bob. Okay, very nice. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so sit nicely. Excellent. Say God sufficeth, all things above all things, and nothing in the heavens or the earth, but God sufficeth. Verily, He is in Himself, the knower, sustainer, the omnipotent. Say God sufficeth, all things above all things, and nothing in the heavens or the earth, but God sufficeth. Verily, He is in Himself, the knower, sustainer, the omnipotent, the Bob. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. That was lovely. So, dear friends, as we are on our trip to New York, and it just happened that it was Valentine's Day weekend, today's episode of Crimson Academy Junior is going to be on
love.
on love. That's right. So, Ella, can you give me an example of love?
Yeah. So here's an example. So like, for example, if I love somebody, like I can make them a card.
You could make them a card. Very nice. That's right. If you love someone, you could make them a card. So in one of the greatest examples of love that humanity has is love from our Creator, love from God. Okay? In fact, everything that we have is thanks to God.
Daddy, but I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If we love God, how do we know, how are we positive that God loves us back?
Oh, very good question. How are we sure that God loves us back? Okay? Let's use the example of sunlight.
Mommy!
Okay? Yes. Let's use the example of the sun. Okay? If the
Oh
sun...
my God, back and forth.
Gio, listen, okay? You're doing such a good job. If the sun is God, okay? Okay? God, as the sun, is constantly sending us heat and light and warmth, right? It's like the sun. So we know the sun is there all the time, right? But what happens if the sun decides, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't love the earth. What happens?
Then the earth will be all dark.
The earth will be dark. It would suddenly get really cold, and everything on the earth would die.
I don't go.
So, just like the sun, God loves us and is always there for us.
So like if God wasn't there, then we won't be there.
That's right. God loves us. There's a hidden word from Baha'u'llah. And this is from the writings of Baha'u'llah. Hidden word, that's right. It says, this is a hidden word from Baha'u'llah. He says,
Sing a word, oh my God. Sing a word, oh my God.
Eva is singing for us. It says, O Son of Man, I loved thy creation, hence I created thee. It means I loved you. I loved everyone. And this is why I created thee. He says, I loved you. This is God talking. This is hidden word. Come sit down. So he says, I loved thy creation, hence I created thee. Wherefore, this is what Baha'u'llah says. Listen, baby. He says, wherefore, do thou love me? He says, love me back. So he says, God is saying, love me that I may name thy name and fill thy soul with the spirit of life. Okay? Okay, go around, baby. There you go. So, yes, you had a question.
Daddy, why is God only saying men?
Yes, well, where Baha'u'llah says man, he says, I love thy creation, hence I created thee. It doesn't say man here. He says, at the very beginning, O Son of Man, right? That means mankind. It means everyone. Elijah. Okay? He does not say, O Son of, ladies, or O Son of man. It means, O Son of everyone. Okay? Talking about everybody. He says, I loved thy creation. It means I created you out of love. Right? So this is one kind of love. There's several types of love that Baha'u'llah talks about in the writings. This is one. The love from our Creator to us. Then another type of love is us towards our Creator. So these are different kinds of love. Now, there's so many kinds of love. Even Ella described one of the loves as a love of humanity to humanity. And this is another form of love where, that she loves someone, so she writes them a card. That's a type of love. Our love for our parents, this is a type of love. Our love for our teachers, like what is your teacher's name?
Miss Johnson.
Yeah, you have love for your teachers and educators. It's a love, that you have for them. So this is a type of love. Love, Baha'u'llah talks about love is in fact one of the most powerful forces there is in the entire universe. It's the type of force that holds the atoms together. In science they talk about covalent bonds or ionic bonds. And bond is a form of love that holds even the atoms together.
What's a bond?
A bond is a type of relationship that it connects things together. A bond, okay? So this is an incredible force. The more that you study love, there's more books and writings on the subject of love than anything else. There's more movies on the subject of love. There's more books. This is the subject that great plays and works of arts are all about love. So I just wanted to touch on just a few instances of love in the history of our dear cause. At least that have touched my heart growing up as a Baha'i. One of the episodes of love that really touched my heart when I was, reading the writings on the history of the faith at a young age was the story of His Holiness Baha'u'llah. When Baha'u'llah was in the prison of Akka, right? This was a very terrible prison. The title of that prison is called the Most Great Prison, okay? Most Great Prison. That's what Baha'u'llah called it. It was very terrible prison, Ella. And in this prison, his youngest son was there. This son was so beautiful. His name was Mirza Mehdi. And he was such a wonderful son. He was the brother of Abdul Baha. The brother. And the younger brother of Abdul Baha. And this is such a beautiful story of love. And I urge all the dear friends to read the history again and again and again and again. And read these with the eyes of the virtues that we talk about. And this, my dear friends, is such an incredible story of love and sacrifice. It's the story of Mirza Mehdi. How much that youngest son loved his dear father in the sense of father, son to the father and son to his Lord. And when Mirza Mehdi was in a state of prayer, just like you're sitting right here, praying so fervently and beautifully, the youngest son was on top of the roof of the prison because it was quiet there. And when you say prayers, in a quiet place, right? And so he was on top of the roof of the prison and walking back and forth and saying his prayers. And then suddenly he lost his footing and he fell through a skylight and fell through and onto a wooden crate. And the wooden crate pierced his fragile body, and he was on the ground, bleeding and dying. And Baha'u'llah, the healer of the world, the Lord of the age, the most powerful, could easily, if he wanted, with a snap of a finger, or less than that, save his son. But you know what his son said?
No.
His son said, my wish is that the doors of the prison be opened so that the pilgrims can come and see you. Instead of saving himself, he sacrificed himself so that the doors of the prison could be opened and that all the pilgrims, the ones that are lovers of Baha'u'llah, could come and see Baha'u'llah. This is love, such a powerful force of love. And Baha'u'llah wept with such a weeping for his wonderful son. This is such an incredible story. There's so many, dear friends, the stories of the martyrs giving their life, the story of the pilgrims walking great distances to be in the presence of Baha'u'llah, the stories of, the martyrs. Another one is such an incredible moving story is the story of Ashraf's mother. Now this is an incredible story of Ashraf, who was, tortured and persecuted for being a Baha'i. And they came to the mother and said, if your son says, I'm not a Baha'i, then we'll let him go. Go tell your son that, don't be a Baha'i. And you know what his mama said?
No.
She says, if my son says he's not a Baha'i, he's not my son. My son is a Baha'i. But if he says he's not a Baha'i, he's not my son. Such love, such strength, such dedication. You know? Courage. And we talked about that virtue, right, Ella? And this is what, and it was such a burning love that they have for each other. I mean, the love, and another incredible, dear friends, I mean, I urge every one of you, with your children in your community, urge them to study the history of our cause. And look at it from the lens of these virtues that are so exemplified by Abdu'l-Baha, the beloved guardian, and what another beautiful example of love is Rui Khanum and the beloved guardian. Husband and wife, but such as Rui Khanum, such a lover, and not just, as a wife, but, in the sense of, this is Hazrati Wali Amrullah, the sign of God on earth. This is, my heart, my desire, my love, my everything. And so is that such humility towards her, to her guardian of the faith. And this is, as we read the history of these episodes of love in our faith, we get more and more and more understanding of what love is. Right, Ella? There's just so many beautiful accounts of love in our faith, and I could talk about all of these episodes. But as we are on our mini vacation in New York, the city of the covenant, and this is also here, dear friends, is another great example of love. The love of Abdu'l-Baha for America. I mean, Abdu'l-Baha, after 60 years of being an prisoner, out of immense love, at the elderly age, set on a boat to America. This is an incredible demonstration of love that Abdu'l-Baha had for America, coming to the shores of America, revealing the tablets of the divine plan here. It's an amazing demonstration of his love for all of humanity. So, Ella, this is Crimson Academy Junior, and this is a shortened episode, and today we talked about
love.
That's right. And we love all of you, and we encourage you, each one of you, to share our videos with your communities, with your children in your communities. Also, but before we go, there's a special portion of our video that is going to be called Ask Ella. Okay? And one of our viewers, and we encourage each one of you to send your questions to Ella right here, Ella Bayat, and ask questions from her to ebayat@yahoo.com. ebayat@yahoo.com. Ask questions of Ella. So one of our viewers has a question for Ella, and the little boy's name is Peter, but they didn't say where Peter is from. So when you send your questions to Ella, say the kid's name and where you're from. Okay? So Peter sent his question to Ella, and the question is, could you please give me an example of being brave?
Yeah?
Oh, okay, say, yes I can, Peter.
Yes, I can, Peter.
Okay, so give us an example of being brave.
So here's an example of being brave. So here's my example. If I wasn't brave to go to school, then I wouldn't know anything. So that was my example.
So if you are not brave, you won't go to school, right? And you won't learn anything. Very good. So, Peter, thank you for sending in your question to Ella on give us an example of being brave. And Ella said her example is if you're not brave, you can't go to school. Being brave is we're brave in even going to get groceries. Some people, are scared even to go leave their homes, leave their towns. Some people are scared to meet their neighbors. Some people are scared to, even meet anyone, even different skin color than them, or talk to them. I mean, we have to get over our fears, and that's what being brave is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being brave is to go outside of our comfort zone and go and talk to, that we talked about this in our section on
Braveness.
courage. Courage. High fives, baby. You're doing such a good job. So courage. And thank you, Peter, for your question. So don't forget, dear friends, this is our new section, Ask Ella. Okay? So send your questions in to ebayat@yahoo.com. Okay? And I'll put that in the top of our description of the video. So send your questions in to ebayat@yahoo.com and you can ask Ella any question that you want, okay? Give a thumbs up to everyone out in Crimson Academy Junior. Very proud of everyone. Thank you very much. And signing out from New York City, live here in New York City, Crimson Academy Junior. Wishing everyone a wonderful, wonderful weekend and have a great week, everyone. We'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye.